What's going on? How we doing today? I am live. I'm your host. My name is Mark, founder of Supreme Body University. If you can hear me good in the chat, I want you to give me a one. If you can, if you're watching this on replay, give me a replay. So today we're going to be talking about the war that's on your body that's been waged, the food, the chemicals, the pills, the procedures, the potions, the teas, right? Maybe not really get into the teas because the teas are more like the organic type of approach. Don't want to knock anyone's hustle, but when it comes to the pills, that is really related to chronic issues and chronic diseases, right? So anyway, we're live. Thank you for everybody that's watching. I see people are coming into the room. This is a brand new channel. So, everybody that is watching, please subscribe if this is your first time watching. Also, leave a comment in the section and also share this to your page. So, anyway, today we're going to be talking about this war that is put inside of your food, these chemicals, right? And tonight, I really need your full attention because I know it's Memorial Day, number one, the weekend. Some of you guys probably got a plate of barbecue right now, but I really want you to listen to this live, even if you have to watch this on replay. Even if you're at your family's house or something like that, save this on your watch later and just watch it because I want to get heavy, I want to get deep, right? And this is really beneficial to for you, and I really want you to be able to take this away so that this protects not only you, your body, but also your family. This system that they have created for us, this healthcare system, is something that's been feeding us poison while telling us that your problem is that you are not doing enough. You're not committed. You're not getting enough protein. You need to take these drugs, et cetera, right? Now, one thing I will talk about on here is about mindset. I do talk a lot about mindset when it comes to people getting out of their own way, understanding the past, the present, the future in order to move correctly and do what you're supposed to do. I will get on a person all day if I feel like that person is not where they need to be. It's fair enough. However, when it comes to this type of situation, I am going to go and look at the outside forces because there are 100% some outside forces that are affecting us in a total negative way. And we need to also talk about the elephant that's in the room. And it's very simple. So I want you guys to really get dialed in and understand what it is that I'm talking about and what it is that we're doing. I'm still sending out these messages and people are hollering, responding back and everything. But yeah, so we're talking today for everybody that's just getting into the room. We're talking today about the war that's on your body, food, chemicals, and pills. So let me bring it back, right? Um, for some people that have watched this thumbnail, I want you to understand that this is not about politics. I don't care about your politics. I don't care about if you're liberal, conservative. I don't care about any of those things. I know some people hear the word Robert Kennedy, they associated that with Trump, and they feel like, this is some sort of political thing. I stay out of politics. This is nothing. This is not about politics. I want you to understand first and foremost that this is about you and this is about your health. So you need to put certain things to the side and understand what I'm saying and where I am coming from. Okay. So when it comes to, you know, this health, I want you to pause, breathe, understand that this isn't a blue or red thing, right? Don't jump in these comments and talk this whole political rant stuff. I don't really, subscribe to that, right? So, so let's talk about the Maha report. Maha has been what they call "Make America Healthy Again" report. This is an initiative and it's just dropped. And it's spreading and it's doing its numbers, right? So make America healthy again initiative, and it's talking about like 50% of our children right now, kids, are they're on diabetes medication, ADHD, and they have gut issues and allergies, and so do the adults. So they're talking about the kids, but this is something that we are doing to our children and also doing to ourselves. And this isn't like a maybe, this is 100% documented. This is Harvard research, these are health research, this is coming from the CDC. This is a lot. And this report breaks down the simple fact that we eat a lot of foods that are processed, fake ingredients. We live around so much chemicals. Our vegetables and fruits are sprayed with pesticides. There's plastic sprays and there's a bunch of things. Our kids don't move. They're stuck on their iPads. We are scrolling on our cell phones. We sit around all day. Then we go to work and we drive and we sit down while we're driving. Then we go to work and then we're sitting down again. Even while you're watching me talk right now, you're probably sitting down, right? Uh, I want you to really sit with that, right? No pun. So really, this dive is all about putting certain things together, and that's what we do here at Supreme Body University. It's about dissecting knowledge first and foremost. And I want you to understand something too, right? Don't just take my word for it. I want you to take the best part out, and I want you to preserve it for yourself, because knowledge is infinite and no one's knowledge is more superior than the other. You have to do your own due diligence and your own definitions to certain things, because you don't really know who information is right and exact. There's a lot of misspread. There's a lot of misspread information. I don't want you to go around and take my word for it. I want you to do your own research. But what I'm saying is true. I've done this stuff myself, because at one point in time, I had a chronic issue. I had a chronic disease, high cholesterol, high triglycerides. I was dealing with diabetes. So when it comes to chronic issues, that is something that needs to be worked on, and people are taking high expensive medications and exercise, eating right. These things can actually avoid the later on traps that we have to deal with. So, what are your thoughts? Give me a chat and a comment and let me know what your thoughts are on what I'm saying so far. So, anyway, so let's get into this food situation. So, this Maha report, it's saying that 70% of calories that you eat right now, your children eat right now, are coming from ultra processed foods, mainly kids, because there's a lot of stuff. I'm thinking about my children. First thing that they eat in the morning time is waffles with syrup or with a little spray of whipped cream. Ultra processed foods, right? Um, these ultra processed foods means that it's not real food. It's chemicals and it's fake fats, it's dyes, it's seed oils, and it's sugar wrapped in more sugar with more sugar that's preserved to keep the sugar from not going bad. But here's one of the things that they're not telling you. These chemicals don't just pass through your system and through your body. And many a times I found myself guilty, and I may eat something that they, left over. You know how parents are, you know how we do. Um, these foods stay in you. And I want you to understand the science of this thing, because many of you don't understand that there's two different types of fat. There's visceral fat and there's subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat means the sub layer beneath your skin. Subcutaneous, literally underneath your skin. And visceral fat is the fat that's behind your abdominal walls, which is your stomach. These chemicals that come from processed foods, specifically ultra processed foods, they don't pass through your body. You don't poop it out. They stay inside of you and it gets stored as visceral fat, that real deep belly fat. that you want to get rid of, and it surrounds your internal organs. That fat right there is a toxic storage unit. And your body knows what you just ate is toxic. But since it doesn't know how to get rid of it, it wraps it in fat and it stores it around your liver, your kidneys, and your gut. It starts putting it all over in many different places. When if it can't put it here, then it'll store it over here. It puts it in all those different places. It'll even put it under your chin. That's why when you walk around and you see people that are walking around swollen and bloated, tired, moody, where do you think that comes from? It's that box of donuts, box of macaroni and cheese flavored powder you eaten since you were 12 years old with ramen noodles. Every time you eat it, this raises inflammation. Inflammation makes your insulin resistance. It makes you insulin resistant. Insulin resistant makes your body store more fat on top of fat. And the cycle just keeps going and going and going. That's why I say you're not fat all the time. That's why I say it's not weight loss, it's waste loss. You're full of toxins and heavy inflammation. And don't get it twisted. This isn't about calories alone. It's about the chemicals that are in those calories. It's not natural calories. Some people, once they're diagnosed with diabetes, you would have a doctor that would actually tell you don't eat fruit because that's going to spike your insulin. It's too much sugar for you. The good sugar, the fructose, our body is going to convert anything as glucose, which is the energy for your body. But they're going to say, don't eat fruit, which is a natural thing that's actually good for you, that actually flushes out your system, most of the fruits, because you have astringent fruits, antioxidant fruits, and phytonutrient fruits, according to Dr. Yaki Awakening and many other sciences. You can eat 1,500 calories of chicken, vegetables, and sweet potato, or you can eat 1,500 calories of chips, soda, and frozen pizza. Your body will react completely different to this because your body will process those chips, those sodas, and that frozen pizza. It will spike and raise your insulin so high that it'll make you probably go to sleep. You'll get the itis immediately. How many of you guys know about the itis? Put a 1 in the chat if you know about the itis, right? That's the part that really no one tells you about. Calories are all different. So if you're dealing with stubborn weight, if your stomach won't go down no matter what you try, this is why, because you eat a lot. And you may say, I do everything, I work out, I exercise, and I'm still not getting this fat off. It's not the gym's problem, it's your gut problem. And what can you do? So, some of the things you need to do is simple things. You have to control your insulin levels. That's the first thing. Many of us, we eat all the time, from sun up to sundown. We're eating. We're eating foods that have seed oils in it, canola, soybean, vegetable oil, toss all those things. Flour, white flour, breads, empty calories such as sodas and juice and Starbucks, Wawa. You eat food with one ingredient: greens, chicken, real rice, wild rice. And most importantly, you reset your gut. This is something that we don't often do, and I don't know why. This is something that we do as far as we learn something and then we don't put it together. And we don't We don't take action on it. Let me say that. We need to. There's there's a real chemical warfare that's hidden inside of the fruits. I was actually watching one of the hearings, and it was crazy because I believe the guy, um, what's the name, Robert Kennedy. He was talking and going through all of that. I think he was testifying, maybe in a Senate hearing or something like that. And then, yeah, it got a little crazy in the beginning. But hold on. So wait a second. Let me see if I could just show it to you real quick. So yeah, right here, screen. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. Hold on. I need to also share the sound. Let me know if you guys can hear the sound also in the audio. Okay. So I'm going to share the actual sound. Listen to this. Listen to this.
The budget I'm presenting today supports these goals and reflects.
Yo, first of all, that scared the crap out of him. He was talking normal, and then he thought it was going down in there. But he's the Secretary of Health, and he's testifying in front of Congress, these lawmakers, about a budget. Listen,
The
listen.
budget I'm presenting today supports these goals and reflects.
The witness will suspend. The committee will come to order. Capitol Police are asked to remove the individuals from the hearing room. Members of the audience are reminded disruptions will.
Now they're making a big disruption. I don't know why. I'm not even sure why they did what they did. But they got arrested. They got kicked out, and he's talking about vaccines and food additives and certain things like that. There's things in administration of what he's trying to do. I'm not mad at him. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to, do something. But this guy, that circle right here, he got kicked out too. Who is this? This is the founder of Ben and Jerry's. This is Ben Cohen. Uh I think they just kicked him out.
Not be tolerated.
Yeah. So they just wind up yoking him up and basically kicking him out too. Crazy. So yeah, it's a lot of pandemonium that's coming out, and I put all this together because there's a lot of lobbyists that are. For those that don't know, there's a lot of companies that basically have lobbyists, people that are in Washington D.C. and they lobby certain things, to Congress people, to legislators, and certain things like that. And it's important for us to know who is who and what is what, because contributing millions of dollars to people's campaigns can get you far. And a lot of people have overlooked a lot of health issues until now. It's what I'm hearing. I don't know how true it is, but it seems that to me that you know, as far as the health in this country, certain things are they're shedding a lot of spotlights on. You can't stop it. There's a lot of social media pages, a lot of people that are blowing the whistle, about talking about all the different drugs and certain things that they're putting inside of the chemicals. And more importantly, they're trying to do things because childhood obesity and also our obesity is just out of control in here. So we got to understand what these things are. Um, if I was talking to your younger self, right, or if I was talking to my younger self, right, because at one point in time I wind up becoming obese, was in the obese category, right? I tell myself, and you should tell yourself, you're not tired, just because you're getting old, and you're not gaining weight just because you ate late one night. There's really a deeper issue, and your body is really full of toxins. This Make America Healthy Again report, that's been put out there, confirms that, oh, there are chemicals, um, that are being sprayed in and on our food, and it's showing up in our water, and it's staying inside of our body. Glyphosate is a weed killer that's found in most organic wheat, corn, oats, and even baby food. Altrazine is another chemical that's sprayed on certain crops to keep away bugs. And this has been shown to mess with hormones. So many women that come to me all the time and they say, I think it's my hormones. Not understanding that there's certain foods that affect your hormones. There's certain lotions that you put on your skin that affects your hormones. This isn't just you rinsing off your vegetables. It's being absorbed inside of your fruits and vegetables, and it's going inside of your body. And these chemicals disrupt your hormones. That means your estrogen levels go up, even for men. This is why so many men got wide hips and big boobs. This is why I scrape the bacon off the backs of men and turn those man boobs into a chest. Men, this is why you're dealing with belly fat and mood swings. You're arguing with your lady too much. You got female tendencies. You need to hit a reset. Do some legs and build up and increase your testosterone. And then when you hear your lady riffing and running and all that stuff and talking your ear off, just smile at her and say, baby, you look good. Instead of going back and forth with your mood swings. You got to raise that testosterone up, man. Testosterone is what is killing the energy and your muscle tone, the lack of it. Your cortisol levels, and I'm talking about these foods affect all of these things. The food affects your cortisol. This is your stress hormone. This is what stays high. If it does stay high, which this cortisol level can then become dangerous. It tells your body to hold on to fat, especially around your internal organs. That's visceral fat. These toxins get stuck in your fat cells because your body's trying to protect you, which is why most people can't lose weight. They're full of inflammation and chemical overload. And then even when I have people that do a 3-day fast, they feel funny. They feel lethargic. They feel like they're high. It's the toxins that are moving outside of your body that's being released by your chemicals by your chemicals in your fat cells, and it's getting inside of your bloodstream. This is why so many people have certain detoxing effects, side effects, headaches, lethargicness, hungry. You got to start doing it. That 3-day fast, this gives your digestive system a break, and your body stops processing food that starts using that energy to detox. And you trigger autophagy. That's your body's way of breaking down old damaged cells and really cleaning up your house cells, and really think of it like a deep spring cleaning. And then using some sort of herbal colon cleansing, colonic kind of thing, colon hydrotherapy on the second day of the fast. This cleans out the sludge that's sitting inside of your gut. Some of you are backed up for years with waste and you don't even know it. This is why people, especially some men, they get colon cancer, they get polyps. Those things basically stay in your system because you don't cleanse your colon. These toxins also affect women's breasts. This is how you get breast cancer. We have to remove these toxins and we have to do a good job. These little plastic water bottles need to be replaced with glass or stainless steel. Glass. We need to switch to organic. I know it costs about $1.25 more. I know it's more expensive, especially for produce. You look at a non-organic tomato versus an organic tomato. Then when you go to a ShopRite or a Walmart, sometimes those organic items are old. We got to figure out the best thing. And with the kids, it's critical. Kids are addicted to this stuff. The artificial flavors, the colors, the sugars, their taste buds are hijacked. I want cookies. I cut my children's juice in half, but we don't. We need to start juicing and start putting juices in front of them. My wife this week actually bought these little popsicles, and I juiced and did watermelon. So she did a little project with them and got them eating watermelon juice, and she mixed it, and it tastes fantastic. Now you know them little popsicles that we used to get as a little kid, made our tongue purple, red, orange, green. That stuff wasn't good for you, but we're here now, and we can make a difference with our children. The next thing we're going to talk about is real over the top, because a lot of the times people are being over medicated. And instead of addressing the root cause, it's like that's been overlooked. The person comes and they say that they're diabetic, they have hypertension, they're depressed. There's root causes of this. And the medications that they take only manage the symptoms. It doesn't really tackle the underlying issue. It's like your boat is basically filling up with water because it has a hole in it, but somebody hands you a bucket in the middle of the ocean. You're just going in, spraying out, going in, putting out. You like that analogy? Going in, and think about that. Over time, you're going to get tired. After a while, you get tired. And then your boat is going to fill up with water, and then you're going to sink. Unless if you get rescued. And here I am on a big yacht looking down like, hey, you need help? You need help? Here's a rope. Come on up. Because I was saved, right? And the crazy part is I had nobody helped me figure this thing out. I had to help myself. Literally. Nobody. I read these books from scholars, people that are long gone, passed away. And I read those books and health books, and I understood them. Wow. Amazing. Some people were still, alive, but I've read so many holistic books, conspiracy to health books, natural cures, what they don't want you to know, Elijah Muhammad, How to Eat to Live, Kevin Trudeau's book, um, How to Eat Right for Your Blood Type, Back to Eden by Dr. Jethro Claus. He was born in the 1800s, systematically wiped out stomach cancer throughout the United States, and then, created those first cancer sanitariums that later turned into the American Cancer Society. He invented soy milk. Imhotep, Dr. Layla, Africa, Queen Afua. All these are just books, and just so many books that I've read over time. And I had a true understanding of what it was, and I was very confident, like, oh my God, I don't need to take this medication forever. And it was a beautiful thing. And I realized that once I got into this thing, I knew I had a responsibility to also help other people as well. Because I would not stop talking about it until somebody was like, "Hey, you should be a trainer and a nutritionist." I chose the latter because although I like to train, I like to manage and I like to assemble teams. And I found that, being a trainer was cool, but most gyms, they it's not really about the trainers. You won't last long. They don't pay trainers well. So I realized that I had to go into management positions. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. For those that are coming in, we're talking about the war on your body, food, chemicals, pills, et cetera, right? So we need, like I said before, we need to address the over medication. We need to address the root cause. We have to emphasize nutrition and physical activity as a foundational element of our health. This needs to be second nature to us. This is why we center everything around structured exercise, because exercise is one of the best ways to detoxify. Let me explain that. When you detox, you are burning fat. You are essentially using fat as energy in the form of ketones. Your fat breaks down into ketones. This is what the state of ketosis is. This is why people, when they do the ketogenic diet, they lose a lot of fat. That's what it is. We have to also talk about the mindset because many of you have and suffer from mental issues that are big and that are affecting you and your loved ones around you. And you have to deal with that stress, that management, and create or more or less be a part of a community with real support and get those health screenings up. Go to your doctor, but be very demanding. Get those blood panels, get those extra things, even when they say, "Oh no, I don't think you need that. I don't I don't really think you no, I think I need that." Figure out if you have parasites. Figure out how much bad bacteria you have in your gut. Give them a stool sample, something. Now, there's a lot of pushbacks against health reforms. This is where the Make America Health report comes in. It calls for healthier food standards that has been a long time coming in this United States. The crazy part is you can look at a comparison between the McDonald's French fries that's in Europe and England versus the McDonald's French fries right here in America. There's like 9 to 15 more ingredients in ours. These companies, most of them don't even do it on purpose. They do things almost like a second nature so that they can drive down the cost on certain things so that they could save money. Everything is basically to try to save, to preserve, to keep shelf life longer. If you can keep something for 10 years, they're like, wow. These industries really argue that such reforms could increase production costs and disrupt supply chains. But the truth is, it's crucial to really consider long-term health plans because these reforms that are coming down the pipeline right now is going to definitely cause a disruption in your supply chains because the more people are going to get waking up, they're going to realize that this is really what's killing me. And this is what causes more long-term issues. And these companies are going to have to make a pivot into something healthier, or they're going to go out of business. Those processed foods with high amounts of sugars, those unhealthy fats and synthetic additives, they're the reason why there's such a high rate of obesity and diabetes and heart diseases. Heart disease affects all of that. And there's big pushbacks from these industries. But let me tell you something. It ain't going to work. More people are going to get privy. More people are going to start creating their own. People are going to start buying seeds and going in their backyard and start just producing their own thing, because that's another way of getting around the whole organic thing. They're going to support more organic farmers. Right here in South Jersey, I know about 2 to 3. There's like 3 or 4 major organic farmers. These companies are going to have more transparency with their food labeling. And those ingredients, those words that we don't even understand, or not understand, that we can't even pronounce. Later for that. We need to eat and go back to the most naturalist things that are right here. Now, I want you to stay focused, and I want you to learn how to start empowering yourself through these lifestyle choices. Empowerment through these educational talks we talk, because it's knowledge first and foremost, which is the basic foundation of all things. That's a powerful tool right there. When you really come into your own and understand through knowledge, that wisdom is going to manifest itself. What does that mean? That means you're going to take action. Action speaks louder than words. And the ideas of being a person that can show and prove by teaching someone else is direct empowerment. I find myself every time I teach, I remember something new that I previously forgotten, something that I may have learned years and years ago. But now you have the choice. You need to take this in and really start to do better. I want you to learn better and do better. Learn how to prepare and balance nutrient-rich meals. Put your foods together. Let's focus on managing and lowering your blood sugar levels through fasting, your insulin, getting that down, controlling your hormones, and reducing reliance on medication. We need to improve this health, this overall health of ours, because this knowledge is really about giving you the skills so that you can make better choices, not only for yourself but also for your family. So consider watching these videos that we put on the Supreme Body University. And for those that don't know, Supreme Body University is a course that we give our clients where they understand what to eat before and after the workouts, how to stay hydrated, supplement sense, label reading, healthy shopping, portion control. It's a breakdown, and it's a community of supreme warriors that we teach. I am the dean of Supreme Body University. And when people go through this course, it's a lifestyle change. It's a changer. So I want you guys to understand that there's a lot of things that's out here that we have to do that's better. And when you know better, you do better. So really, let's do better. And I want you guys to just focus more on eating, healthy eating, and really getting towards our goals not only for ourselves, but also for our family as well. Because you are your child's first influence. You are your spouse influence. Your spouse can come in with something good and it's over. Your whole diet, everything out the window. It's happened to me. And I love it every time. Because me and my wife, we are partners in crime. We do everything together. You know what I'm saying? But when it's time to get down to business, we get down to business. And that's some of the things that you have to do too. You gotta get down to you gotta get down to business. So anyway, watch these videos. Thank you everybody for watching. I definitely want you to subscribe to this channel. If you haven't, tap this bell, send yourself these notifications. And this way we know what's going on. And also leave a comment